Torrential rains in Taiwan earlier this week gave areas still recovering from last year's 8.8 floods quite a scare. In Wutai, a couple of hundred people were even cut off from outside help by this week's flood. We next take you into the township to see the locals' journey since Typhoon Morakot.
The wall painting of a man in running gear with the national Taiwan flag, wearing a medal with his hands victoriously raised high, is a picture of the 74-year-old standing beside it. He mimics the pose for us, which he struck every time he reached the finish line, back when he was still a runner.
Whatever your occupation is, you must paint it by your door. You go to the other's home, it's the same everywhere.
Tang Liangfu's remarkable achievements put him into the international spotlight, where he represented Taiwan as the island's first indigenous man to participate in a long-distance race.
I started running when I was about 19 years old. I joined the Olympics when I was about 21.
The copious awards and medals are all dearly preserved by his wife, who has made them into a wallpaper collection.
The medals are very heavy, so I sew them on here. I've sewn them all. Of course, the wife does it.
But perhaps what makes this couple most proud these days are their two successful sons, one a police officer, the other a surgeon. Each has families of their own and have moved out of Wutai Township, but the parents insisted on staying behind.
We love our land, we love our home. This is where it is.
However, just last year, Typhoon Morakot brought much devastation to Wutai Township.
Wutai was beautiful here, and after the 8.8 flood, everything collapsed. The village head announced that the roads were broken and we couldn't get down from the mountain. They told us to tell our children not to come up and that we shouldn't go down either. That was that.
With mixed emotions, snared by nature's might, there was little anyone could do. With typhoons mercilessly blowing through year after year, the 6 villages within Wutai Township are used to being stranded and need to survive without any help from the outside. 2 years ago, Haocha village was the first to elect to relocate. By moving to Pingdong's Ailiao campus, the residents were able to escape losing their whole village to Morakot. However, Wutai's many tribes and roads have been severely ravaged.
Maybe it was due to the weathering. The shell terrains all the slopes. Every time after a torrential rain, the ground gets saturated, and it becomes very slippery, especially by Jiwu and Ali. Jiwu was required to relocate its whole village because the ground layers and soil were falling apart.
While some residents from Jiamu and Guchuan villages have been forced to leave, there are still some 200 people currently living in the safe zones of Wutai's mountainous areas. With the number 24 highway still under repair, the only way of getting around is via the Yila temporary bridge. However, through the rainy season this year, it has been frequently damaged.
The Caozhou highway representatives have come to explain to us that all roads and bridges, including the number 24 highway, will be completed by the end of the next year. However, some areas may get started first. Besides the flood seasons, we could finish those first, so that some of the roads may be recovered faster.
The cutoff for closing a bridge has been revised down to just 60 millimeters of rainfall. The government is now using steel culvert pipes to strengthen the temporary Yila bridge.
After the disasters, all the residents in the villages have an increased crisis awareness based on our experience in the mountains. When we feel the rain demands an evacuation, our township office will make an announcement.
At an altitude of 1,000 meters above sea level, this paradise on earth is calling on its people to mend its beauty. And through the perseverance of the Rukai tribe, Wutai's magnificence will be passed on from generation to generation.